time for a change. How long are we going to open the speeches the same way, standing on the stage, opening it exactly the same way? Like how I always ask a question and the evaluator always says, oh, that's a great opening, etc. So I got bored of it today. I thought, let me give the evaluator also something new to talk about. And maybe you all are a little bit excited by this change, you're anticipating something, what is she going to do, you're curious. But on the other hand, I was a little nervous in making this change. How will it be perceived? Will I trip while I'm walking backwards? I practiced so many times before the meeting started. And that is exactly the beauty and the dichotomy of change that I would like us all to explore today. This topic comes at the right time because 2024 has been the year of change for me. Some changes that I've been desperately seeking and some that I've been desperately avoiding, as one does. In early 2024, I completed 1 year of working as a UX designer, a career that I had chosen through change by leaving the so-called safe engineering life behind. And yet, this year, when it came to seeking new opportunities, taking on different projects, or even working with a new team, I was paralyzed. My manager, in fact, told me, Devayani, you can work on this project also, you can join XYZ team, you can, in fact, organize a class for all of us and show us how you use design tools effectively. These are all great things, right, coming from a manager. But my mind immediately went to, what if I fail? What if I'm overwhelmed by all this? What if I'm not as good as people think I am and they decide I'm a fraud and they shouldn't have given me this opportunity? That's why I was afraid of making this change. But as I was writing the speech, I realized that over the past few months, I have accepted the possibility of this change. And I have somehow primed myself for it just through that acceptance. Slowly but surely, I have tested the waters. Let's see what happens if I take up this extra bit of the project. Let's see what happens when I work with two people who I haven't worked with before. And my mind slowly came out of that change inertia and started convincing itself that this change poses no danger. So when you are avoiding a change or when you're afraid of a change, simply accept that the change will happen at some point of time. And trust me, you will prepare yourself for it. And that is one beauty of change. Now we come to the more interesting part, I suppose, the changes that I've been desperately seeking. These are more complex in my opinion because you have to deal with the seeking of it, the knowing of it, the changing of it as well. And I think I figured out a little secret and I want to share that with you today by using another story from my life. This is an age-old story. The age-old story of Indian parents wanting their kids to be married off quickly and that too exactly on their terms. So I say I want 50 guests, my mom says no, 500 guests. I say no, court marriage, my mom says no, the function hall has already been decided. I say simple clothes, my mom says minimum 2 kg silk saree will to pakka wear. I say anything and my mom says emotional damage. So that is my situation in seeking change. I have wanted this notion of weddings and marriages and how they generally happen to change for a long time, ever since my partner and I decided to get married. And I have resisted my parents at every single turn, so far with no luck. And I realized I've been missing a very important factor. I have not considered that there are other people also involved in this change and that this is also a change for them. And this is where empathy is very crucial when you're trying to communicate change. After all, my parents also come with their extremely deep-rooted conditioning of over 50 years. And I cannot change them just by telling them, no, I want this, I want this, I want this. And this is where another beauty and the dichotomy of change comes in. When you're desperately seeking a change, your tendency is to look inwards and say, I want this, I want this, I want this. But you are not considering what is outward to you. So next time you're in a situation where you're desperately seeking some change, try and look outwards and see what what kind of empathy and understanding you can bring to the people that you're affecting by this change. And trust me, this will work out for you. On the other hand, when you're desperately trying to avoid a change, when you're afraid of change, the tendency is to look outwards and worry about every single possibility and every outcome and what will people think. So next time when you're in that kind of situation, try to look out inwards and say, what can I do right now? Let me communicate the change to myself first. Some people call this manifestation, right? Whatever people call it, when I did this, it lifted a huge weight off my shoulders and allowed me to approach a change organically. And the best part is, the people around me also automatically noticed it. My managers were important part of this. And he said, okay, good job, I think you're doing well right now. You don't need my guidance, which is great. So once again, when you're faced with a change that you're avoiding, what should you do? Look inwards. Correct. And when you're trying to seek a change desperately, like I am right now, I don't know what conversation I'm having, but no, I'm not with this. What do? Look up. And with that, I hope I have changed some of your minds just a little.